We're going to look at how to certify an ABC boating school student through this specialized system. The first step is to go on to iytnet.com and sign in as the school administrator. To do this, you're going to enter either your email address or the IYT ID number which was assigned, and of course your password that you have chosen yourself. Once you've successfully logged in, look for the administration menu, and then the first item on there is called ABC Student Certification. When you click on that, that's going to give you a special ordering page for this. Now the first thing to select is the school. Right now we just have the one school set up. And then the second item is the instructor. Third item is where this order is going to be shipped, and typically we want it shipped directly to the student. And here's the part where you can enter the student's information. Right here all we need is their name and their email address. I have a couple set up here that we can use as a demonstration. We call it ABC Test Student 2 and an email address abcstudent2 at iytnet.com. So those are the only two pieces of information that we need to enter for each student. If you want additional students, you simply click on this button here, and that will add another student entry panel. Of course, we can remove it. And then here's where you choose which items you want to certify the student as, based on the course that they've taken and based on what they've paid for. So we have the Irish 10-meter powerboat ICC, the IYT MCA small powerboat and ribmaster, and the Irish PWC ICC. So let's say that this student wanted all three of them. We choose yes beside each one. Okay, once you've done that to all the students in your order, you're going to select Go to Shopping Cart. When you've completed entering all your students, it's going to take you to a standard shopping cart. So in your shopping cart you'll see various items. First of all, the school, the shipping instructions, and then you'll see here how many of each certificate you've ordered. Okay, so we've got the one student that ordered each of them, so we have one of each. I have some just sample pricing here just to make this easier, and you'll see at the mid-range here where it says coupon, we have it set up so that if you want to order more than one certificate for the student, we start to apply a discount to reduce the overall price. You check that all over, and if it looks good, you can see the billing address, you're going to press next, and that will take you to the next step of the shopping cart. In the shopping cart here, it takes you to the payment screen. In the payment screen you've got the option of credit card, PayPal, or sending an invoice to be paid later. You always need to accept the terms and conditions before proceeding, and then press finish after you've selected which payment method you would like to choose. For this example, we're going to pay for the order immediately using a credit card. So we choose credit card, hit the finish button, and now in some browsers it says here you may be required to press the finish button a second time. That's no problem, and press it for the second time, and it takes you then to the payment window. This is the Canadian banking payment window for credit cards. You can see the total amount here. It's on their secured server, and you simply enter the card number. Oops. And the card number and expiry date, and then press process transaction. Once you press process transaction for the credit card, it's going to check everything out, and then it'll say thank you for your purchase. Okay, and then you're done at that point, and it's up to the email that is then sent to the student. Once the order is all completed and paid for, IYT administration is going to verify the order, and once verified, they're going to send an email to the student to go ahead and complete the process. So what we've done is we provided for you some test email addresses They're real email addresses, but they're yours to use to test the system. And what you do to see the emails that the students will get is you go to webmail.iytnet.com. You'll have this webmail access panel that will pop up, and you simply enter the name of the student's email. This is the same one we just did in the example, and the password is the word password, all in lowercase. That will log you into that email address, and you'll see that the student will have received an email then from IYT Worldwide Online. Let's have a look at what it says. Okay, here's the email that came to the student. Now on this particular interface the logos don't show up, but we've got some fancy logos on there that they will see. But basically what it says is, it says, hello, congratulations on earning their certifications while training with ABC Boating School, and it walks them through exactly what they need to do and how they need to do it, and then it gives them their serial numbers. Okay, so they will get a serial number for each of the certificates that they will have earned through ABC Boating School. And if you recall, they were the three, the ICC, the Small Powerboat Rib, and the PWC. So it instructs them to go to iytnet.com and register as a student. So let's go there now. So the student is directed to iytnet.com and is asked to register a profile with IYT World. The first thing it asks them to do is when they choose the membership type, it's very important that they choose ABC Boating School Student. The reason why is because it takes them to a special place when they first log in. So they've chosen ABC Boating School, and they enter their information. They put in their email address that they received it from, which in our case is abcstudent2@iytnet.com, and they pick a password, which we're going to just use the word password. Okay. Next is they'll choose their address. Let's put them in Australia. Let's put them in Queensland. Give them a fake address, 123 Main Street. Postcode. Give them a real city though, Gold Coast. And they can put in their telephone number if they like. The next step is where they put in their additional user details. Now this is where it's important for them to enter an appropriate photograph so that it goes on the certification cards. So they go into this part here and say upload profile image. They can browse on their machine for the appropriate photograph. I got a couple here that I'm ready with. Bruce. We're going to use Bruce here again. Now they can use any sort of photograph as long as it doesn't exceed 2 megabytes. So that's most camera phone photos, etc. And it's okay if there's more items in the screen, but they must crop the picture in order for it to fit properly into their certification card. So they'll edit their picture, and it takes them right to a cropping screen, which lets you choose a square exactly just from the top of the head to the bottom of the chin to select the photograph. Save and close. And you'll see the photograph updated on their profile. Okay, the next parts they need to do is they need to know the gender, country of birth. We'll put Bruce in Antarctica. And then we're going to need some type of government issued picture ID. Now that can be a driver's license or a passport or some type of national ID card. This is a requirement for the International Certificate of Competency and MCA tickets, just so that there's verification of who they are. So we'll give a nice imaginary number, and we need a photograph image of that government issued ID. So it works much the same as the first one there, and I've got a sample passport here. Okay, and it uploads a sample passport. If you have a lot of excess room, you can edit it as well, which means you will go and crop down to where you need it. Okay. Just makes it a little bit neater. You enter when the government ID expires, what government that ID is from. Bermuda will work. And then, very important, we need the date of birth of that person. So March 1st. Let's get you. Okay. Now, once you're finished with that part, it asks you to enter this code just to make sure you're not a robot, and it is case sensitive. You can see they're all in capitals. You accept the terms and conditions, and you go ahead and register. Once the registration is complete, it will both send an email to the person who registered, and it also, on the confirmation screen, will give you your new IYT identification number. Once a student has completed their registration, they need to sign in for the first time using either the student ID number or their IYT or the email address that they signed up with in the first place. So we'll sign in here. There's a student number, and we used the word password for the password. And now you see on first sign in, it's going to say enter your serial code. If for some reason the student misses this, they can always go back and they'll see this menu item that says ABC certificate serial number as an option. Okay, so for entering the serial code, these are the ones that were sent to them on their email that they received, which we've got just over here. Okay, we have it in red. So here's the first one. So they copy and they paste it. Okay, there's the first one, no space afterwards. They got 3, so they'll add a second one by hitting add additional code. So here's their second one. I'm going to cut, and they're going to paste it there. We're going to add the third code. Okay, copy and paste. And since it's the last one, we'll hit submit and check out. Now the student will see that they've got all their items in there, so small powerboat Ribmaster and 10 meter ICC. Now I know we had a third one for PWC, and I apologize, but that one produced an error. I'll fix that. So let's imagine for a moment that there was just the 2. We'll show that it's free. They don't pay anything because they've already paid ABC Boating School for the certificate. Okay, it goes to 0 cost. They simply press next, accept the terms and conditions, and finish. That completes what the student does, and back at IYT headquarters what we'll do is verify, complete the certifications, and then make it so that the student can see them online once they're verified, and we'll send them out to them as soon as possible.